Now, you would think you would think I'd get better at this whole podcast thing, but apparently I suck. So, yeah, I'm gonna repeat. I got at the moment I have Jacob and Ethan from TSA. They are our 2021 CSL champions. We're gonna talk to them all about that, but before we get into this, I want to talk about. God, I'm just repeating myself. We're going to talk about a couple of updates within the competitive world, and yeah, let's get into it. So, I have found some new competitions going on. One is that in California, actually in Northern California, there's a company league called the Syndicate Union. They do a 5v5 series. Sorry, I had to really think about that. But theirs is way different. There's the way they have everything set up is that they have buttons on the field, and each button is worth a certain amount of points, along with player eliminations and so on and so forth. And speaking of points, if you guys haven't gotten hip to the newer SpeedQB point system, I'm going to try and break this down for you so you understand kind of what's going on. So everything's the same but they added in an incentive where if you are to hold onto the flag until the end of the match, then you gain additional points. With that being said, it is equal to hanging the flag, which is 50 points. Now, I don't know about you, but that's a lot, and it changes how the game is played. So what a lot of people saw out in Cali for their West Coast Invitational was, people would grab the flag, hold on to it, not necessarily push to go for the flag hang because you're getting those points. Now, should it be the same amount as a flag hang? Probably not. I think you should be rewarded for taking the risk because you have to go to the other side of the field. But, that's just me. And I think that's really it. I think that is pretty much the basic idea. But you guys let me know what your thoughts are. Yeah, we're talking about the point system with SpeedQB. So we had talked to TJ about this, Jacob, where you could get up to 50 points for holding on to the flag for the round, right? That's 50 points. So, there you guys are saying that my mic is low, so I'm gonna turn this up. Y'all should be able to hear me.
He can't hear you. He's also muted, and that's a whole nother work in progress at the moment.
Thank you, peoples in the chat. But yeah, so some of the stuff that you saw at the West Coast Invitational, not that I was there, you can only pick up so much from people you talk to and the videos you watch, but there were some teams that would win the matches. So if it's best 2 out of 3, they would win 2 of the 3, but then they would actually lose lose the match because they didn't get the points.
Yeah, match.
That was the other thing that the thing that dictated the winner of the match was the entirety of your points, your collective points, which I don't think is right either. Considering, like, if I beat you straight up, regardless if you had more points than me, I should win that match. That's like saying rock, paper, scissors. You get rock and I say, scissors. Of course you crushed my scissors, but somehow my scissors decided to cut you in the end. Like, what? It should be a little bit more clear and concise. And I think that makes things a little bit more convoluted. But, That's just me.
I mean, the rule in and of itself, of my opinion, is clear, right? Like there's no discrepancy on the rule, what you
Hmm.
can or can't do. Yeah, Ethan was having issues, so he said he'll do the next one because he just can't. He's
That's all
special.
good. It's all good.
Um, but anyway, so I think the rule is very clear. I just think that it is. I think it's kind of silly to be able to get points for holding on to the flag, like an additional 50. I don't think it should be worth that much because then at that point you're changing the game of an elimination game style
Yeah.
to attack and defend.
And
And then it becomes no incentive to eliminate the other team.
right, and we had talked about this a little bit beforehand,
Yeah.
where it really does change the incentive of the game. When you introduce rules like this, it really does make it more about defense than offense.
I mean, it's cool because it's something new, it's different, it adds perspective to the game and adds something different that we haven't seen yet before. So
Yeah,
props to that for it being innovative and different. But I really think like if we want to keep it as this competitive nature and, head on, like we're just gonna bully the shit out of each other until one of us gives, I think it takes away from that. I mean, it makes it
yeah.
more strategic in a mental sense, in a way.
I guess.
But
I mean, I would understand it. It's just 50 points. Like you're that's
I
just
just
a very slippery slope the way I see it.
yeah, I
Like
just don't
you're
think it should be
giving
50
someone,
points.
yeah, it
I,
if holding on to the flag should really, I mean, it should be an incentive, but it shouldn't weigh as
yeah,
much
deal
as
breaker.
hanging
Yeah,
the flag.
yeah,
So you can make it equal to first grab, which is 25 points. You know,
right.
that's not a bad idea.
Mhm.
And it at
Or the
least
same as the
gives the
cojones bonus because it's in a bonus. It'd be considered a bonus point. So do the equality of whatever the cojones bonus is.
so here's I don't know this answer either, but I'm gonna assume that in order to get that bonus, you have to get the first flag grab.
Yeah. So you have to get the first flag grab and maintain the possession. It's not just get the flag at any point. It has to be the first flag grab and maintain the possession
That yeah, see even that I
to the end of the match.
personally I think it's just an excess. Like it's a little unnecessary. I mean, cool, yeah. I mean, could you award teams an added bonus? Yeah, sure. Do I think it needs to be worth 50? Do I think it needs to be worth 25? No. 10 maybe.
Yeah.
Um and that's
The
only
cojones
because
bonus
like
points is 10 points, right?
no, it's 50, I think it's
15.
15.
Okay, I mean even then, that's fine. That's fair.
Yeah, but see,
It's
here's
just not. It's
my
not a deal
thing,
breaker
right?
at that point.
You you make it so one-sided at that point. Like
Yeah.
if you have to get the flag first and then hold on to it, and the other team has no other chance of getting that bonus.
Yeah.
So I typically the teams that grab the flag first typically win that round. That's how I've seen things, and it breaks down to like the statistics of it. The teams that that grab first flag are way more likely, like 75% more likely to win that round. It just what it is, but we don't have to keep on going on with that. It's all good. Speaking of statistics, I'm actually going to pull this up. So TSA is actually the first team to come on to the podcast and actually
Have stats.
compete. Yeah, have stats, but compete in the events last year. So,
Oh, that's right, because all the teams we've had so far haven't yet. But there's
yeah,
more
they
to
haven't.
come. There's more to come. I've got them
Yeah,
scheduled. Don't
yeah.
worry.
There's plenty of time for you guys to get that. So,
Actually, we were a last minute change. We weren't even supposed to be first.
let's see if I can actually get this up so you guys can see what I'm looking at. But yeah, you'll see when I bring up this image for you guys about how much it impacts your team to get that first flag. I mean, it's a ton of points.
Well, one thing
And
I will say too about their rule and them changing it though is it adds more incentive to go get the flag grab, making the game a little more interesting off the start. Whereas before, when there isn't that incentive for it, right, you teams will wait till the end to go get it rather than make that balls to the wall
right.
rush in the beginning.
So what you guys have up on your screen right now is the stats from last year overall. So up there at top with a record of 10-3, which I think is nothing to laugh at either. I mean, 3 losses for an entire season, you know,
Let's
that's
let's be clear. You're not just tooting this horn too, because it's your team that
I
you
mean,
put together or
yeah.
our team.
So
Yeah,
there's
you didn't get to play at all, so
yeah, I contributed absolute squat to any of this, but you'll see, you know, as you go up the list for the stats, there's a lot that changes, right? If you
right.
look at the number 5 team, which is Push Gang, at 3 and 6, you know, their percentages for player eliminations, flag grabs, and hangs is lower than the top 3 teams, and on average. But the points are a huge difference too. Like, I am tooting a little bit of my own horn here, because, but and there's just a big gap in points. I mean, you're looking at 76% of all player eliminations, 66% of all flag grabs, and then 53% of all flag hangs. And you had 300 plus points ahead of the next team, and then even drastically further for the team before that. So, I mean, it is what it is. We're not going to, you know, dwell on it too much, but I think it is pretty cool to see the metrics of everything. And I can't wait to do that for next season. But it's going to be cool. So, Jacob,
Speaking of which, can they hear you now better? Just do we know?
I haven't had any complaints, so they should. I turned you up as well,
Okay.
so that way we didn't have any issues. But let me go ahead and grab some questions, since Jacob, you are the only one here from the team that played last year, at least. There were some.
Whatever questions you have as well, I'll answer them.
I will. We're gonna take the Instagram questions first. If any of you guys here in chat have a question for either Jacob or myself in reference to the team, go ahead and ask. The first one from good old America. Everyone's saying, "Yeah, you sound clear." Thank you. The homie from PA, he just asked if we had any big plans for 2022.
As a team, or
Yeah.
the CSL?
The team. This is all team questions.
Okay. No, did I not? So I know we have a lot of plans to travel, given the fact that we can afford it and make it happen. Well, we do plan on, the first one of the year is Cali. That's our first trip.
Cali will be our first trip.
Yep, that's our first trip. And then I know we plan to go to Indiana, Rhode Island, and where else am I missing? Are we going to SS? Nashville?
Yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna try to make it down to SS.
I forgot. I just haven't looked at the list in a while. But we do plan to go to a lot of events this upcoming season. Not only CSL events, but SpeedQB events. So that way we're well-rounded in all the players that we can, play against, compete against, get our skills up, learn more, and definitely, continue to build the community, not just locally, but nationwide.
It's like having a big name on the East Coast is cool, but I think I can speak for all of us where we want more than that. Don't want to just be limited to what's here on the East Coast. And
we're not just trying to be the CSL champs year back to back. We're trying to run shit everywhere as much as we can. We are. I know me as a competitor. I can't wait to go out west to play the West teams, and do my thing. For those of y'all who know me, I ain't scared to talk my shit. It's all fun and games, but I ain't scared to talk my shit. Um, I want to go out there, run some of those players into the dirt, and be like, look, and just earn my respect. I know it's not given. Um, and I definitely just can't wait to, get out to other places and experience new fields that I haven't played at as well. Meet new players, new people, new friends. So that's exciting. I know we have that coming up for this season. What else big do we really have other than that? Other than maybe getting Valhalla to be like a home field for practicing
Um,
and scrimmages?
yeah, I mean, there's nothing like super big. I mean, we might have a new look next year.
Oh, I
Um,
forgot about that.
we might have a new look for next year. We can't give you guys any sneak peeks or nothing, but
But we gonna come out looking spicy.
yeah, you're definitely gonna know when we step on the field. Um, okay, so next question. Next question. Um, I can't really ask Fitzy's question.
Which is what?
He asked about recruitment. Uh,
Oh, okay.
we have a no recruiting policy at the moment. Yeah.
Yes, that we do. That we do. But if other teams are looking or players are looking to expand, either way,
Yeah,
um,
so
we just started that channel on the
yes, the
CSL channel.
looking for a team channel. Oh, shite. Yeah, if you are looking for a team, you can always join us on the CSL Discord, which should actually be down in the description right now. Feel free to join us, and we have a good time. We have a good time. I'm trying to get a little bit better with this whole social media thing.
output.
You know, I try to get at least one of these posts for the podcast, and then I make the events in the Discord as well, so you guys have a reminder. But I am going to be posting some stuff actually very soon, very, very soon in regards to the 2022 season. I know I've been talking about it, and it is now the
Then you were gonna drop that on New Year's, weren't you?
no.
Oh,
I
okay.
did say, the first week of January to keep your eyes open. That stands true. I do have a lot of stuff and things I want to share with you guys, and I'm really excited to do so as well. Um, with that being said, I want to say thank you to Nick over at Valhalla for letting us come down this past Wednesday and get some footage there, along with Wavy. Homie sent me some clips as well. Mike, I'm waiting on yours, but it's all good. Don't worry about it. But yeah, the whole lineup I'm hoping to be released this week, if not this weekend. So keep your eyes peeled on the Instagram account and YouTube too.
Do we have more Instagram questions?
Yes, we do. Yes, we
Okay,
do.
let's roll.
From Senor Fiji, he asked how we started.
Okay, can you want me to tell the story, or at least from my point of view and how it started?
Sure, go for it.
Okay, so for me, uh, the way I saw TSA come together or develop, like how we started, was, and this is just from my eyes only. It's different for each team member. But for me, I was at Manassas one day, and Keegan was there. He and I weren't that good of friends like we are now, but we were acquaintances. I knew him, he knew me.
Mm-hmm.
That was really about it. Um, and I didn't know Bert or Ethan at all at the time. And I've told Bert this story, but I'm gonna tell it again on the podcast. But when I first saw Keegan, I went up, said, "Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "Oh, not much. Putting together a competitive team. I'm trying out a couple of guys today." I was like, "Oh, all right, that sounds cool. Like, what is this competition thing? Like, what do you mean?" And he's like, "Well, Speedsoft. Like, I'm starting my own tournaments, which you've seen. Blah blah blah. And I'm putting together a team." And I was like, "Oh, so you're asking me to be on it?" And he was like, "You wish you could try out like everyone else." And I was like, "All right, bet." And so then my first thought when please ignore my brother in the background. But my first thought when I saw the two people Keegan pointed out was like, okay, that kid's a child. And then I saw Bert, and I was like, and this dude's old as hell. I was like, why are these are two complete different age demographics?
Yeah.
Like, why are these guys even a consideration? And then I played them, and I had no second thoughts as to why they can play. And as we all know, Bert is the reigning 1v1 champion on the East Coast. So it's just karma for me calling him that, that I didn't
Yo,
make it there.
I didn't even think about that. Like, there's so much. All right, so Small
But
rant.
that's how it started for me. And then that day forward, Keegan was like, "All right, yeah, cool. You played it well enough. You show me. I know how you play. Welcome to the team." I was like, "All right, bet."
Hmm.
And then from there, we played together and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I it's crazy. Like I started the team and then I didn't play. um, but yeah, I remember I had the idea last year or the year before in 2020. I was like, you know what? I'm getting stuff from Troy. I'm wearing his shirts. It says Tru Starz, whatever. Um, if you guys don't know, there is a clothing brand called Tru Starz Clothing. It's my homie Troy. He's the homie. He's a real homie. You guys can check out some of his gear. It's actually kind of nice.
Yo, his shit's dope. I actually
Um,
have a couple of his shirts.
yeah. So I mean, I don't know if you want to be rocking, Tru Starz stuff, but it is what it is. But either way, I remember I hit up Carlos. Was like, "Yo, homie, like, I'm gonna start a team. I want you to be on it." At this point, Carlos had already sold all of his guns, and he was like, "Nah, I'm good. Like, I quit. I'm not coming back." And I was like, "Nah, homie, you're coming back." And I remember just like sending him messages like once in a while, like a day or two, and then finally you poked the bear enough, and he was like, "All right, you twisted my arm. Let's go." And I mean, yeah, I picked up Jacob, Bert, and Ethan. We were the OGs out of the group, and I was super happy that the OGs got to go out to Nashville last year and compete.
I completely forgot that that's our OG5. I
Yeah,
went.
um,
Yeah.
but we went out to Nashville. We took second, and I had told the guys but every event that we've played in,
You did get to play in that one, so that was nice.
He keeps teleporting True.
yeah,
Man.
when we played in New Jersey and at
No, that's
Nashville,
just Jersey.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Nashville. Yeah.
But every event that we've played in as a team,
He's got
we've
tanks posted
hit the
outside of
podium.
base.
So first, second, or third,
Yeah, tanks.
every single event. And then on top of that, when the gauntlet was going on,
Crazy.
Bert took first. You had taken second
In
or
in the
third.
preliminary rounds. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Pat was up there in like fifth as well. So it was
He
like
was fourth. Pat was fourth.
fourth. There you go.
He would have been third if it wasn't for some technicality or something. But yeah.
So I mean, we were pretty stacked this past year, and that was one of the questions I had actually for the rest of the guys. Like with all this quote unquote success, and this sounds like kind of egotistical, but hey, if you got it, flaunt it, right?
Yeah.
With all the success of this last year, do you personally feel like you have something to live up to for this next season, or are you just like, hey, it's just another day?
Kill.
I mean, yeah, I want to say yes and no. So
Okay.
like, what I feel that I have to live up to is like the people who know me as a player
Yeah.
and the shit talking that I've done about going and traveling and playing those players. They want to see me succeed in that. So like I feel I have a little bit of that to live up to. Like if I go out west and we come back and like now we got walked on, I'm gonna feel like I failed, right? I feel like because I want to live up to what people view me as a player, uh, on and off the field. But
Yeah.
so I feel I have that little bit to live up to. But as far as going forward in just like any of the normal tournaments, like no matter who's in Speed QB or CSL, like just anything that I play, for me it's just another day. I'm an athlete. I compete. My mind goes into a different space when I'm on the court, the field, whatever I'm doing. Um, Compared to when I'm off. When I'm off, I'll be your best friend and I'm friendly and I'm nice and
Yeah.
whatnot. But when I'm on the field, it's like leave me the fuck alone. Let me get in my zone and let me just do my thing. And it's
Yeah.
just another day. It's like another day in the office for me at that point. Like I tone everything out. I tune everything out. I do what I got to do, and I just play. And whether I win or lose, I go out there and I just give it my all and I have fun. And I know if I give it my all and I try my best, that's all that counts. As much as I want to win, and I'm not going there to lose, but
Mhm.
that's my mentality going into it. It's just like I don't feel like I have to impress or live up to anyone because I'm paving my own lane at this point. Um, and I'm excited about that. So I'm just I guess the reason I don't feel that way is because like I said, I'm paving my own lane, meaning
Yeah.
I've joined up with you and helping you do whatever you can for the CSL and get this competitive league started locally and grow it. And that's something that I find really, really cool and interesting. So to be a part of that makes me feel like I don't have anything to live up to because I'm creating something for people to.
Right.
So that's where my head's at with that. So yeah, just another day in the office essentially when I play.
Another day in the office, the man says. The damn, I completely lost my train of thought. I mean, I guess the best way I could think about it is like, I would definitely say that there's a bigger target on our back now that we have done so well, and we kind of made a splash in the SpeakUV scene as well because we went to Nashville. I mean, some of the SYG guys were there. I can't say that they spread anything about us, but when you compete with the people at that level who have a field and can do this, that, and the other, and then you take second, like it shows the level of play and skill that your team has. And I've spoken with a couple of people. I know TSA has been mentioned out on the West Coast, so
Southeast out here.
yeah. So I mean, there's definitely some expectations too.
Tossed into our pond. We've made a couple of ripples.
So Flawless Technique just asked about tournaments for the year. Yes, I can tell you that there's going to be events from every month as of right now, every month from May to August, or April to August, there will be an event at a different field every single month. And then on top of that, the agreement I have with Field at the current moment is that there will be a seeding event before every main event. So that means you get a little bit more practice, but I'm actually going to come back to that. I did want to ask one more question that Fiji had submitted on Instagram, and then I'll come back to tournament stuff. So just bear with me for a second. Fiji did ask if, and I don't think we have, but if we had received any hate or backlash as a team, which not really.
I think it's been minor. Like I wouldn't say hate, but the only backlash that I've realized that we kind of got is when we won the CSL Championship. It made it a little bit hard for us to enjoy our win when some of the people in the midst were just like, "Oh, they only won because Keegan put their team together, and he runs the CSL."
Yeah.
Right? And so but it wasn't loud. It wasn't like a lot of people were saying it. It wasn't like this crazy drawn out drama or anything of that nature. And we all pretty much ignored it, didn't like hear it out, because we know we won fair and square. We didn't do anything, But so I think that was the only backlash we really, quote unquote, heard or hate we got. Other than that, it was nothing but support and love from the competitors and other players that we know.
Yeah, I mean,
it's likely to happen.
I mean, some people are gonna talk smack regardless, and I mean that's all good. I don't really care. I mean, I got a grind to go on, so that's that.
And to speak on that just briefly for those who think that or felt that way, that's the whole reason you don't play in your tournaments is so that there is no bias, right?
You want to hear a funny story? Well, Jacob, you know the story very well because it's about you. So, for those of you that don't know, and that's everyone because it was between me and Jacob, at the championship, I called a foul on Jacob because he was right in front of me. I saw him get hit, and he didn't call it. To Jacob's defense, he said that he hit the guy beforehand, and then and whatever. Either way, as Jacob's getting out and going underneath the mesh, he was like, "That's a bullshit call," and walks away.
I was mad as shit. Not even because it was Keegan calling me on like what I did wrong. I didn't feel I did anything wrong, so that's why I was upset. It didn't matter who it was, what ref it was. Those were the words that were coming out of my mouth.
So it's like, I really don't give a shit.
Ah,
I think I'm actually hypercritical and more sensitive to my team in the events because, I mean, I've let y'all know there's a reputation,
yeah.
and I have every intent of upholding that. But that's really it. Either way, doesn't matter. Back to the question that was asked about tournaments. I told you I was going to come back to it. So, yes, I wanted to
Before
talk.
you go, but before you go on to that, I just read a comment by Scotto where he said he hasn't witnessed any hate about us. He's just heard good things. This is coming from a guy who's traveled quite literally everywhere, airsoft related,
Yeah,
just about across the country. He's played in Cali, New York, Florida, Tennessee, wherever he's lived, he plays. So coming from him, saying that he hasn't heard anything bad about us. That's good and all good things. And also, I want to shout him out as well for being a true homie and everywhere he goes, promoting us, the CSL.
mm-hmm.
And not only that, TAA in Maryland and Virginia, telling people to come check us out there because he loves the community and what we do there. So thank you to you, Scotto. You're a big help. We love you. Hope you're doing good out there. And I think Arizona is where you said you were last time we talked. But yeah, we miss you. Just hope you're safe. And go ahead, Keegan.
Thanks. Scotto, I'm going to put you on blast too. Not necessarily right now, but within the week, I'm going to be putting you up on Instagram. You'll see your face. Don't worry. Anyways, Jacob, could you actually grab bread? Thanks. So for the tournaments, what's going to happen with the seeding events, the way it's going to work, the point system's the same but different. So last year we had 4 main events, and everything that you accumulated in that was your seeding towards the tournament and towards future events. I'm going to change that this year. I felt like it kind of gave a pretty big advantage from tournament to tournament on, where teams are placed. And when you're going against a number 1 team and this is your first event, like, that kind of sucks. What's up, Red? So the way it's going to work is every event is going to have a seeding event. Jake, I'm gonna mute you real quick. Damn it, Red. All right. Yeah, so every event is going to have a seeding event, and the way it's going to work, the points you accumulate at that will be your placement for the main event. So I'll let you guys know right now on, I believe it's April 12th. Double check myself right quick. The first event is at Valhalla Tactical. Damn, my joint's freezing. No, the 16th, April 16th, at Valhalla Tactical will be the first event, and then on March 12th is going to be the first seeding event. So you play in the seeding event, and you'll get your placement for the VA qualifier on April 16th. So there's a lot of airsoft to be playing, and if you guys aren't on top of it, you are going to miss out. So yeah, get that shit squared away. So Brad, I'm going to ask you the same series of questions I kind of hit Jacob with because you might have a different perspective. One of the questions that we got from Instagram, we had talked about big plans, how we started. Do you know if have you gotten any like backlash or hate for being on TSA? True. And one of the other questions I had asked Jacob, do you think like there is a different sort of like expectation, or do you think there's a target on your back now, considering, I mean, you guys had a pretty big season this last year. Do you think like you guys have to perform at that next level? Yeah. So, I'm curious on like what your overall impression of this first season on a team has been, because you kind of came in halfway through the season. I'm trying to think. Yeah. Oh, shit.
I think part of the reason earlier why I said that I feel so laxed or like it's another day at the job for me is because I have that confidence in my team and in my teammates that we're gonna go out there, put in the work, and win. Even if I fuck up, we have an 8-man roster, so another 7 other dudes behind me who are ready to go.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why I have that comfortability, because I have other guys who got my back.
Yeah, to kind of not counter what you're saying, but when I say that there's pressure on us or on a team for existing or for doing well in a certain event, pressure is not a lack of confidence, but it's rather it's rather a record or something.
Like an expectation.
Yeah, expectation. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, it's an expectation that, whether you're setting it for yourself or you feel like it's being set for you.
I feel that, and I mean, I feel like that's why Jeep battles that a lot.
Yeah.
Because they were a big movement in this sport, and I feel like everybody thinks that they just won, so they're the champs currently, but I feel like everyone thinks they're like the end all be all of teams as far as what top tier should be, and just don't realize that there are other teams out there that can compete and will compete and take those spots from them from time to time. Same goes with us. I mean, I'm not going to let anybody beat me if that's the case, but you know how it goes. You got to have that mentality.
Yeah.
Hey,
but the humbleness of realizing you can lose.
Random question, totally off topic. How many birds do you have?
Only one bird. His name is Wally.
What's up, Wally? Sorry, I heard the chirping in the background. I was like, "Where the fuck is this bird at?"
He's right there.
Got some bigger glasses because your blind ass can't see the bird.
Shut your ways. Yeah, a couple of people in chat agree as well. There always seems to be a bit of a target when you're on a team in general, and especially when you perform well. Trying to collect how I want to ask. How do you think you kind of, or this is for both of you individually, how do you think you guys have performed within this last season? Like, is that something you were like, yeah, I think I did really well, or do you think you have any sort of improvement area?
Brad, do you want to go first, or you want me to take the cake on this one?
You go first.
There's always room for improvement, and if you don't realize that as a competitor and you think you're the shit 24/7, you got a rude awakening coming your way when someone finally smacks you in the face and is like, "Nah, fuck you, I'm better."
I know I'm the shit 24/7. Come on, bro.
So to answer that half the question, there's always room for improvement. From being our predominant snake player throughout the season, and having Ethan as a backup, but also him on the field, and not really, having anyone to come in behind me if he was playing, unless we, move some pieces around.
Yeah, that might be changing.
Yeah, which will be nice because it'll give me a chance to see things from the outside in too, and learn more and observe more, and give me a little bit of a break if needed. But so with that being said, I felt I played pretty well this season. I only had the one penalty, which was bullshit. I'll say it again. But no, I mean, the championship, for those who don't know, I played sick, out of my mind sick. I know Brad remembers this, because I was on the sideline drinking emergency, eating cough drops and water and Gatorade the entire time. Oh, and throat numbing spray as well.
Spray.
So it was a whole routine. You had to be there. But anyway, at the first game out, I come out and I get like a 3 or 4 pack, whatever it was, and Brad was the biggest hype man as soon as I got off the field, which was awesome. He was like, "Let's fucking go! Hell yeah, Jacob, let's go!" And then also while I was in the moment, I heard Riley cheering me on, which motivated me even more as well, which was cool to hear. Because you don't really get spectators in this sport, so when you hear somebody cheering for you, it's kind of cool. But it's a different mantra. But I feel I played well. There's, like I said, there's always room for improvement.
Can I tell you my favorite bread moment?
Oh, of
Oh
course.
no.
So,
Do I know this?
oh,
I mean, I was
you
there.
should. Yeah, you were there.
What came out of your
So
mouth?
this was at the VA qualifier this past year at Manassas, and the first game you guys played against was the combination of
HSA.
Goons and HSA.
Yeah.
But that very first game lasted maybe 30 seconds. Maybe 30 seconds. And I just remember turning and hearing, "Fucking world record, baby! Let's go!" Brad was just so fucking hype. I mean, it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. But definitely favorite Brad moment.
Thank you.
Now your turn to answer the damn question that I took forever to answer.
I don't even remember the question. What was it? How do I think I performed?
Yeah.
And
I think I performed pretty well. I mean, obviously Jacob said there's always room for improvement, and that's always true. But I think the VA qualifier was definitely the best for me because I also played the most at that one compared to all the other events. But I remember every point that I played, I got one or more frags, or we won the point. So that felt good.
what was the qualifier where I lost my fucking tooth? Oh,
That is, yeah.
what a nightmare that was.
Yeah,
But
what a
anyway,
dummy using a fake die. Who does
Look.
that?
you know what?
Yeah, cheaping out on the iPro, bro. Come on. But yeah, that's always room to grow, especially obviously individually, but as a team too, coordinating
I
and everything.
I,
And then getting my gear in check. I mean, I don't believe there's any outdoor events in the
no.
next year, which nice.
Yeah. Everything will be
Um,
indoor for next
I'm
year.
amped out. So yeah, I can actually use my rifles and stuff now.
I think one of my favorite things with the team in general is watching the chemistry change amongst different lineups, right? Like when we have our you know how the vibe was when we had our OG5 in at Nashville. Like it was very quiet mentally, like on the sidelines,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
our mantra was just like we're gonna put our foot on these fucking kids' throats, and that's that. And you could just feel that energy.
That's assault.
You know what I mean. But anyway, but then at Robin Hood, when we had to switch out a bunch of different times too, it's very different vibe amongst players. Like when Vinny and Brett hit the field and Pat, when all three of them are there, it's a very hype squad pep
Yeah.
talk Ray Lewis type vibe. Like those three are like, let's fucking do this, let's go, let's kick their shit in, and it's a different vibe when they're there, and amongst each player, which I find really cool, but the chemistry works no matter what the lineup is, which is what's nice.
Who do you think would be the most dynamic person on the team?
I got my vote, but I'll let you guys go first.
What do you mean by dynamic?
So if you look at
Versatile, yeah.
I mean, you have versatile, but I'm just trying to think of it as when it comes to football, there's always that one dude on the team who's like, we gonna go in here, we gonna snatch up these babies, and we gonna throw them out the window, or some shit. I don't fucking know what they're gonna say, but they're the general hype man. I got your back. We're gonna get this shit done type of person, and on top of that, they're just peak performance. And don't say me.
Jacob, you go first.
Go first. Not this time.
No, you go first.
Fred's
in a sense-
it's me, motherfucker.
It's because my vote is me.
Well, so I'm gonna split the conversation here in a sense. As far as versatility goes, right? I think our most versatile player that we have so far is probably Bert and Bread, and because they're both not super tall, but they're not super short, and they don't have any other I guess you could say disabilities other than fucking Bert hurting his shoulder,
Getting
from
his
time to
arm ripped
time.
off, yeah.
Yeah. But other than
Yeah.
that, they can play amongst every position on the field if needed. I mean, our whole team kind of can, but
Yeah.
Speaking of,
because of
Bert
Ethan too.
legit fractured his shoulder
yeah,
at the championship, and then
No, it was
Or
before
no,
the
at the
championship.
at the Maryland qualifier, and then
Yeah.
the following month or like a couple weeks later, went to Nashville and played all over again.
Yeah.
Like the
With a
man,
fractured shoulder. He didn't even know it was fractured.
like
um,
what a guy.
yeah. So like I think that they're two of our most versatile players. Keegan, you included, but
Mhm.
you didn't get to play as much. But you three are in that mix of like can drop into any position and play it.
Yeah,
Um, and then I think our most dynamic, at least this season, was between uh, three of you. But for me, it was definitely between Brad, Vinny, and Patrick. For me, it was more. I got more playing time with him, so it was Patrick. That was that dynamic player for me because not only was he shooting over me throughout the season, he was also that your huddle. Like, let me give a little quick speech. Let's fucking do this. And then
Yeah,
Brad when he was on the field as well.
Yeah, Pat gets hype on the break, and then Jacob pees on the break. But that's cool.
Yeah. Wait, have we shared that story yet? Have we
I'll-
shared that yet?
Not with the world. If you want to share it, I mean, this is your
I
chance.
I don't care. So, was it the championship, Brett?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the championship day, I had been drinking so many fluids, so many because I was sick. So I had just to start the day. I had 2 bottles of orange juice and a bottle of water before we even started playing. Then my routine in between events was to before I would go on, I would spray my throat with throat spray, chug a little bit of emergency, go on the field, play, do whatever I got to do, come off, drink actual water and Gatorade, and then the same thing before I'd go on again, throat spray and emergency, and that was my routine. So I was just constantly drinking fluids in between everything.
Lots
And
of fluids.
we get up there for the break. I see both of you fuckers in your faces.
What are you talking about?
So I get up there for the break, and I happen to tinkle a little bit, and I just say it out loud, like, guys, I tinkled, and they're like, what? And I was like, yeah, it just dribbled out, I can't help it, and then the horn went, we're off to the races.
What
But,
grown man says tinkle first off?
Look, I did, and I can't help it. It
It's
just
all
happened.
good.
It was a whole thing.
All right, Brad. Let's get Jacob to
What's up?
stop talking.
Please, please.
Did you have a vote for what was it? Most versatile?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree with Jacob in terms of like a player like playing on the field and skill set. I think we're very a part of our team's success. Is the fact that pretty much all of our players
I ain't got nothing to
are very versatile and can do many different things
Mm-hmm.
across the field. But yeah, I think definitely Bert, um, myself, Pat, Ethan, like everyone can do everything, really. Yeah, that's my
That's
vote.
good. Do you think that would be like one of the pivotal points for the team as well as being as successful as you guys were this past season? Would you say that?
Yeah, I think so, and especially, at least my opinion, with like a big difference between Speedsoft and paintball
scarabs, and that's just
is with paintball, like the snake side and the D side are so vastly different in terms of the bunkers and how they are and kind of like how formulaic it is.
Mhm.
So like your back players and your front players in paintball, it definitely feels a little bit more solidified. I mean, obviously those guys on the really good paintball teams are very versatile and they can play everything. Like you see, sometimes the back players got to run into snake to fill or run into a center guy has to go D side, whatever. But Speedsoft, the fields are so much smaller and the fields are so much more random, I would say, in terms of how things are laid out, where back players are moving up probably, I would say, more frequently than you would see in paintball.
Mm-hmm.
That versatility is almost a little bit more important, at least at
I have
where the sport is right now. Go for it, Jacob.
And this is because you said you talked about moving up. We were playing. It was the one at Manassas, whatever qualifier that was. The one you played a lot in, Brett. I was in the snake, and we were going up against Wasted Potential, and Rue was in the center X, I believe. And
Yeah.
Brett knows exactly what I'm talking about. me and Lou get into this firefight. We're going at it. And then, like, out of the scene of a fucking movie in my head, I just see this shadow over me, but I also just hear just laying into the bunker that Lou's behind. And I turn around and I'm like, what the fuck? Who's coming up behind me? And it's Bread over top of me, just literally just lasering as many BBs into Lou's bunker that he could. And I come around the edge of the snake, and as Bread at the same moment goes above me, and we just clap Lou. I mean, he got what, like 15 in that rounds at most.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't overshoot him, but it was it's the game.
Yeah, I mean, we put a lot into him in that sequence.
Yeah.
It was a fun thing to watch.
Yeah, I mean that situation you gotta ensure a trade's worst case scenario, which mag dumping one spot would definitely do that.
Yeah, it was fun to just feel that like, I don't know, that presence that happened in that moment was just like so surreal and different. It
Your
was
knight
kind
in
of
shining armor.
It was.
Oh yeah.
My knight in shining armor came to my rescue.
Brian. All right. Well, we are at the hour mark. Before we get out of here, last question I have for you guys. There are some, newer guys that are in the chat, and even for newer guys that watch in the future. Is there any, single gold nugget you wanna to lay to any of these guys?
Right.
Jacob, you go first.
Wait, I missed the question. I zoned out laughing at your comment.
Do you have any gold nugget of information for any of the newer teams or individuals out there?
I wouldn't say a gold nugget as much as a little piece of advice, but if you're interested, go for it. Put your team together, go for it. And then if you do, just know that communication and chemistry are probably your two biggest things that you can have in a team.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. Find people that you enjoy playing with and have the same amount of drive and goals as you do. Make sure that you're having fun.
He's got this right here.
And always strive to improve. Time and effort.
I always sound like soccer moms. Always do your best. Go out and always improve.
Honey, if you just do your best, it'll be fine.
Yeah, but if you're not having fun and you don't like the people that you're playing with, you're not gonna play. You're not gonna improve, and
for sure.
And you're not gonna win.
And you're not gonna win anything.
Which in turn makes it all worse. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna get out of here playing the exit music. It's official. We're getting out. We're leaving. Not that you can hear it, right? But a couple of things, reminders. Keep an eye out for our Instagram. If you want to check out any of the guys from TSA, you can check the description below. I already added everyone's Instagram accounts. Give them a follow. Give them a view. And I'll catch you guys in 2 weeks. Adios.
See ya.
I don't even say goodbye no more.